The following Dvar Torah is based on some teachings of Rabbi Levi Yitzchak Berditchev, great Hasidic master, author of the Kedushas Levi. He points out that the mitzvah of Hanukkah, as we know, is to light the menorah, and this is based on that the miracle of Hanukkah is that the oil, which was only had enough to light the temple menorah for 1 day, it stayed lit for 8 days until new oil could be acquired. And to commemorate that, for each night of Hanukkah, we light the menorah, and we have the tradition of adding a candle leading up to 8 days. Now, Rabbi Yitzchak points out that this is an interesting contrast to a holiday that does share something in common with Hanukkah, insofar as Purim. Like Hanukkah, we recite Al Hanisim on Purim, except during the Amidah and Birkat HaMazon. Of course, for Hanukkah, we tell the story of Hanukkah within it, and on Purim, they tell the story of Purim within it. However, the mitzvot, the commandments of Purim, involve reading the Megillah, telling the story, a festive Passover Suda, meal, matanot le'evyonim, gifts to the poor, but none of the ways in which it is celebrated is the particular sort of miracle aspect of Purim acted out. Now, for sure, Purim is understood as a time of Nes Nistar, hidden miracles, but we still recite Al Hanisim for all the miracles at that time. If we were to ritually do something for Purim to commemorate the miracle, it would have to be building gallows each year and remembering that Haman was killed on the gallows and hung before he could carry out his desire to destroy the Jewish people. And that is something we do not do. So why then for Hanukkah, Levi Yitzchak asked, do we specifically do a ritual that acts out, commemorates the miracle and acts it out, almost as if we were there? So he suggests that what's different about Hanukkah is that the joy of celebrating Hanukkah and the miracle done for us on Hanukkah was the opportunity, the miraculous part was the opportunity that God gave us to fulfill the command of lighting the menorah in the temple. Yes, there was enough oil for 1 day. We could have done it for 1 day. But the miracle was that it lasted for 8 days, during the time which we could then acquire additional oil. The miracle was that we would have the opportunity to fulfill the mitzvah properly. And that what we commemorate on Hanukkah, therefore, is the opportunity to do mitzvot, the opportunity to do commandments, and to celebrate that God loves mitzvot, loves when the Jewish people do commandments. And the miraculous aspect of Hanukkah was that opportunity to fulfill the commandment correctly of having the menorah lit in the Beit HaMikdash in the temple. What I take from this emphasis of Levi Yitzchak on the mitzvah element is to remind us that to take into our consciousness, perhaps during this time, as we celebrate the miracle of Hanukkah, of lighting the menorah, that we remember that this opportunity we have that presents itself in so many ways for us, whether in ritual ways, whether in interpersonal ways, whether in opportunities to help others, this opportunity we have to perform mitzvot is ultimately something that we need to celebrate. Not only to see mitzvot as commandments placed upon us of something we have to do, God forbid, as a burden, but the fact that God enabled us to perform the mitzvah of lighting the menorah in the temple in the proper way, that we are able to do that, is something that should be an ongoing celebration when we have the opportunity to do mitzvot as well. Chanukah Sameach.